Hey guys, what's up? It's great. I'm here with another video. So we were on the snipers, right? We did that for about a week. I wanted to transition back to the sword mage because I made my decision now. I do like the snipers. The snipers are great. They're really good for single target boss damage. You can't beat them. They're better than the storm mages, but I spend most of my time mapping, right? And just for mapping, I like the storm mages better. The way chain works and how it hits multiple targets, even with a lower amount of minions, it's just faster. It feels smoother for me. And it also feels safer. I'm never like wondering like, you know, oh, this is taking too long. Well, that's not true. In really high delirium maps, that still happens, but that's more like a damage issue along all minions that happens. But in just general mapping, I just like the storm mages better. It feels better for me, so this is what I'm settling on. It took me a long time too to kind of finally settle on getting like a +1 corruption gem. We'll talk about that in the skills. And if you notice, we're back on the Lich. The past few videos, I was talking about like, you know, the differences between the Lich and the infernalist. And it's like, it's slicing hairs. The damage output is the same, right? Whatever minion you're using, the mapping speed is going to feel the same. The bossing damage output is pretty close to very similar. You can't even really tell the difference. The difference is going to come down to quality of life between the Ascendancies. And I've been playing the Lich now for a few days after I swapped over from the infernalist. And I really do actually prefer the quality of life for the Lich over the infernalist. If you like more minions and you don't mind having to deal with bleed and stuff, the infernalist is perfectly fine, right? I wouldn't go switching if you like one or the other, but for me, for how it is now, I do like the quality of life. I like less things to kind of worry about when I'm mapping and going through all my stuff. It's funny because this video is actually already done. I had this thing done, I shot it yesterday, and I got to redo it because I've made some changes already immediately. I got rid of the blindside stuff because I guess it's better to use minion mastery. And then I substituted my sniper for a frost mage, because of how my spirit is calculated right now with storm mages. So we're back to using frost mage. But anyway, in this video, I'm going to cover two mapping scenarios. One with like high delirium, so to show you that mapping difficulty. And then one with just a little more normal without as much delirium in it. So to show you like the speed in a more nice, like forgiving open map type of thing. And then I've got a few pinnacle bosses in there. You can skip ahead. We're going to do a Xesht, a Simulacrum. And then I also have one with a expedition boss. But yeah, let's go into the gear. We'll talk about the gear real quick. Maybe not quick. So this is the gear. It's pretty much the same gear that I've had in the previous videos, but I'm going to talk about it more so you don't have to go to those previous videos to get the skinny on it. I settled this entire build mostly around these ever-grasping rings, right? These things add extra chaos damage. I've got 2 of them. With the Lich Ascendancy, that's another 30 from Unholy Might. So I'm pushing 86% extra chaos damage. 2 of these at 28 makes 56 plus the 30. 86. Math, still good. The thing with these rings though, it's kind of a pain, right? Getting your resistances maxed with these rings was an entire journey. You can see my chaos is not even maxed. It's only at 51, but it's good. It's good enough for all the content now, especially with the, you know, nerfs to like Simulacrum, all that kind of stuff. It feels perfectly fine. The thing is, it took me a while to build this up, and you know, it's not cheap. It's nice if you can go chaos inoculation to kind of bypass chaos res, but I don't like chaos inoculation for reasons that if you take chaos inoculation right with the Lich Ascendancy and you take the everlasting eternal life, sorry, the ever eternal life part where it's on the right side, you start to degen mana. And you know, when I'm in maps all the time, it's like I don't want to have that on my mind. I have to always think about like, do this. I mean, you can get used to it because I pop potions right after Pain Offering, muscle memory on my infernalist. So not saying you could do that. For me, I don't like it. So that's why I played the infernalist as well. So that way we could like not have to deal with that. But anyway, we're back here on the Lich, right? So this is the gear. I have it centered around these ever-grasping rings. To me, I like these rings the most. It's kind of a pain to build your resistances around them. That's why I played the infernalist for a little bit, went back and forth, because they do add chaos damage, and at the time I had 10 chaos res, so you can kind of feel it when you're mapping. But now my chaos resistance is about 50%, and it's decent. It's good enough. Like I still die every once in a while, but I don't know if that's chaos related or something else. I think it's fine. You can take chaos inoculation, but when you're playing the Lich and you're taking chaos inoculation with the right side of the Ascendancy tree, you start to degen mana, and I don't like that for my quality of life. If you could work with it, you just have to pop a mana pot whenever you get into like a situation or engagement with monsters and stuff. But for me, it's like, it's a little too much to have on my mind. I'd rather just kind of not have to worry about it. So what you can do instead, if you don't want to take, if you take Chaos Inoculation, you can take the left side of the tree. So that works too. You'll take Rupture the Soul and Blackened Heart. The right side is just nice because you don't have to worry about bleed, right? Poisons and stuff. Ablation's free. So that's really nice. Like conversely with the Infernalist, when you're doing life reservation, a quality of life thing, and then you get hit with bleed, man, you have like half the life pool. It was kind of annoying. So you have to really be on your toes to like use your potion or something when you're on the Infernalist. So as far as quality of life, you know, you're playing tons of hours mapping. There's always something that bleeds. There's always some poison going on. It's really nice to have eternal life. But yeah, so I centered this around, my gear is centered around these rings. Some other good rings to use are like Vener's Gambles, right? Triple res, you can get them for decent prices. Extra Spirit, that's good. I just like these because they add like a whole 18% extra damage to my minions. Each one gives 18%, so for all of it. So I like these, and this is how I built it. All the gear is pretty much the same for my previous guides and builds and videos and stuff, but we'll just go over it. I built this up over time, right? I didn't just buy all of this, so you'll work up towards that. The most expensive things that I've got is this chest. I got this chest for 12 divines. I had to talk a guy down from 15. It was listed for 15. Bro, that guy, bless his soul, wherever he is, dude, that guy gets a free pass straight into the pearly gates because he gave it to me for 12, which was nice. Check different times of day. I got this during nighttime, so nighttime there's actually a lot of stock, and then I don't know, just check for your time zone whenever it's Asian time frame. That's when the best deals are up. I have this amulet. This is what I've got. Let's go price check it. Right, I want to see what this is worth. Nothing even comes up. Take the base off. 100 divines, right? That makes no sense. It's because it is all res with stat, and this is with max resistance, max stat. So the stock for amulets right now is not good. Let's see what happens if you take off the all res. Then you get stuff into like, you know, 5 divines, more reasonable stuff. But that's all because of this all elemental resistance, which I need to have. See, this is 15 divines for 10% all res. But it has maximum energy shield, so that's nice. It's also T9. This is pretty good. My amulet is actually pretty pricey. I think I paid 12 for this. Either 12 or 15, so this is about right. So once again, this is all because I'm centering it around like ever-grasping rings for my build. If you have like Vener's Gambles, you don't have to worry about it. It can be cheaper. It'll be expensive in different places, but then you're like missing out on like an extra 36% DPS. I know everyone wants like the, you know, the shiny big DPS numbers in their tooltip. You know, I do too. Let's actually just price check the chest just to see. 785 spirit double res. 14 divs, right? That's a lot. One of the things you can do to get away with paying for stuff, because look, this is even what, 728. If we wanted like 800, it's 50 divines. What you can do to kind of help mitigate this is for your gloves, you'll get really shitty energy shield gloves. So like instead of 126 like what I have, look for 80s and you can get it for 1 divine. And then that 40 energy shield you make up on the chest. The reason for that, even though the numbers overall would be really similar, is maybe you can take like Ancient Aegis or like a node on the passive tree that boosts energy shield for your chest. Or you can take the node that boosts energy shield for your helm, right? If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's these. Close this. Right, you can allocate this on your amulet. 60% more energy shield from equipped body armor. So if you have something that's like 1,000, that's like an easy extra 600, right? Or if you're talking about the helmet, there's this node right here. 70% increased energy shield from helmet. So if you know, somehow manage to get a lot of resistances covered from other parts like your boots, you know, the gloves, and then you could probably try to get energy shield more so on the chest and the helm. You can kind of use those nodes to kind of give you a little bit more energy shield. Like especially for boots, it is not easy out here. Like I couldn't even afford boots before. Thankfully, I got this boot as a drop. So this boot as a drop is the only reason I have it. Otherwise, I don't know what I would have. See, there's even nothing in stock because this has rarity on it. Take the rarity off. This is 5 divine, but the next one's 30. So this one could be a not real for sale one. But then if you just drop energy shield, you're losing like 100 some. See, now you got tons of options, right? Tons of options. You can get kind of close. This is 170, so it's like 70 off. You can try to find one that's like 190. Well, now we're getting kind of expensive, right? 9, 8. It would be nice to get one for like 3 divines or something. See, this is 163. 163 for 2 divines. So you can kind of at least build your way up to like intermediary mid-tier gear. Because for how I have it right now, my energy shield is 8700. And for general mapping, even like high tier mapping and even T4 bossing, I probably can get away with 7500. Obviously, the goal is to have like 10,000. That's the goal. And it's super far away. There's no way I'm fucking hitting 10,000, but it's comfortable for what I'm doing right now. But so that's as far as the energy shield, the defenses, and how I have it set for gear. The scepter that I'm using is +4. See if you can get one with increased damage, and then you can slot in another damage. You can val these guys to give you a second socket, but I'm too chicken shit to do that because this thing has intelligence on it. I need that. I need the intelligence. So if this thing bricks, I'm gonna have to go find something to buy, right? But if you val this and you got a second socket, that's an instant 60% extra damage for people in your presence. You know, really good, really good. I want to talk about the trench timber now, why I have the trench timber and not a Sunsplitter. So I do have a Sunsplitter, but through my testing of trying to get the most DPS that I could out of these guys, I have slightly less DPS with the Sunsplitter, right? Because it's less, it's like a whole minion less. I think it's like 2 minion less. So if I take a look at it, if I take this off, so I had 11. Yeah, it's 2 minion less. And 2 minions is a huge amount of DPS. Going from 9 to 11. With the snipers, it was different. I was going from like, what, 22 to 20, or 21 to 20 minions. So using a Sunsplinter on snipers was better. Versus here, where I'm losing 2 whole minions versus, you know, just 1. And we're going from 11 to 9. So, for that reason, whenever I calculated my DPS, I prefer to use this, the trench timber. I like it better. Because where the storm mages kind of suffer from is that single target total DPS. Because they don't have the same amount of snipers. Their boss clear is not as good. Just straight up, the snipers have better boss clear. Right? But when it comes to mapping and comfortability of mapping, I like the storm mages. Storm mages are where it's at for me. And then if we look at the other pieces of gear, right, which are my jewels, I'm running Grand Spectrums in here. Because in this configuration, that amount of spirit is better for me for overall DPS. Like, let's say maybe if you had Grand Spectrums that were crit. I don't have crit ones. I have attack speed and presence of area. So I could slot all these attack speed guys. And I would get a lot less snipers too. So just believe me on that. Using the Sapphires over my Grand Spectrums for mine, when I calculated it, it was also less. Even if I did, say I did, you know, Sapphires with the trench timber for this extra spirit, it still wasn't as good as just me using spirit trench timber with the Grand Spectrums in my passive tree. So this is why I have a trench timber in here, vice a Sunsplinter with Grand Spectrums or a Sunsplinter with Sapphires. So that's all the gear, right? You can check out the link. I have it in the POB. You can see each thing. These are the charms that I'm using. Eventually, maybe I'll get some legendary charms. So let's talk about these guys, right? All the jewels and the gems. So here's the Skeletal Warriors. They're running Infernal Legion. That's just there for Stormfire. So that way the shock stays on. Sacrificial Lamb, right? So I sacrifice them. Death March, just so they could provide some heal whenever they die. And then the Culling Strike, because it's nice to have Culling Strike. We're running Sigil of Power again, because it's for the Storm Mages with Persistence and Magnified Effect. And then we're obviously using Weapon Set 2, having the Weapon Set 2 apply. So There's been some questions for you guys. I know you're wondering, like, how do you get Sigil of Power to only execute on the second weapon set? So I'm playing on controller. This comes up. It's always going to be on weapon set 2 for this guy. There's no way to set it here, right? It's not like this. If you go over to conductivity and you go to skill options, it actually says use with what weapon set. Because Sigil of Power is tied to an actual weapon, I'm automatically going to switch to that weapon when I press that button. So my Sigil of Power is tied to triangle. When I press triangle, immediately goes to Sigil of Power. Now, how do I go back to skeletons? My conductivity just came off the bar. Hold on. Okay, conductivity. As soon as I press that, skeletons come up. The way you do that is you assign your conductivity skill options to only apply with weapon set 1. So this way it uses the passive tree on weapon set 1, and then your weapon set 1 is the one that has the skeletons allocated. And then when it switches, it'll automatically summon your minions for you. Right? So let's do that again. I press triangle. Boom. Sigil of Power. I use my conductivity. They're up. And then you fill your sigil, right? As you're popping potions at the same time. Hold on. I don't know why all my stuff just got unbinded. So there's the Sigil of Power. There's your pain offering. And then you get your increased damage on these guys. So that's how Sigil of Power works. We'll go over the passive tree and how to set it up when we get there. So this is one of the bigger changes I made is I added the Frost Mages in here. The Frost Mages are back. We're back to the zoo build. We got rid of the Frost Mages before because we didn't have enough spirit. We allocated a sniper, right? And that allowed us to get another Storm Mage. But with how I have my spirit amount now, there's enough left over that I can take a Frost Mage over a sniper. And I prefer a Frost Mage over a sniper. And for these reasons, right? It has bidding, spell echo. I have commandment in here. You don't have to have commandment. I have it in here for faster cooldown recovery because I'm not really relying on their auto attack. Cold mastery and then elemental focus. So that way, what I'm using them for is the ice bomb. See, when I'm standing in this circle of Sigil of Power, one ice bomb is 168k. And it casts twice because of spell echo. So this is almost like it's a 300k nuke, right? And this 300k nuke has a 31% chance to crit. So it's not bad. It's a fun little like thing to kind of have. But if we're not standing in there, let's say we're out here, it also has to be in my presence of area. See the ice bomb, it's 87k. So around 170k DPS for a nuke. 30% chance to crit. Now you'll be out of range. They'll be out of range of me when I use the ice bomb because if my skeleton is out of my presence, it's not taking the damage from the Evergrasping Rings or the Unholy Might. So you'll see the ice bomb go down to 43. But if they're in my presence, then it's the 87k DPS ice bomb. But 43 is still good because of spell echo. It casts twice, so that's 86k DPS, right? And I like having that. I like having this. And if you look at the cooldown's pretty quick. Good for mapping. You run around, roll around, you're in some trouble. You want to throw an ice bomb. And then because we're taking soulless form, our mana regeneration is pretty quick. So it's got a nice little quality of life when we're playing through maps, you know. It's good that, you know, while your Storm Mages are doing their thing and they're just blasting, you have the option to just drop an ice bomb with a pretty big radius. We're not taking full area of effect nodes, but the radius is big enough to clear like whole sections and stuff, which you'll see in the gameplay. So that's one of the bigger changes that I've made. We got rid of the sniper because I realized I had enough extra spirit that I could put in a Frost Mage. I would put in a sniper for muster, but that 7 extra percentage is not worth losing an entire Storm Mage. So let's talk about the main damage dealers, right? Skeletal Storm Mage. Why I like these guys. I like them just because of how arc works, right? It got buffed, so it hits 5, it chains 5 now. It adds shock. The thing that sucks, I was wishing that this part of arc where it says shocked enemies hit release damaging pulses, I verified that. That's not the case. I have an actual regular spell shock, right? And I wanted to see what it looked like. There's actually a noticeable pulse when you cast arc on a shocked enemy. And our storm mages don't do that, but our storm mages apply shock. So it would have been nice if they applied shock and they did the arc. That would be super tight. Right? So if you take a look at these guys, these are the skills: Feeding Frenzy, Muster with a bunch of different minions for muster support, Arcane Tempo, a Minion Mastery, and then a Lightning Mastery. One of the things I was messing with was using Blindside, right? Blindside is a skill gem that adds crit percentage, crit hit chance, and it adds crit hit damage on blinded enemies. And then what you could do is you could put blind on your shock mage. And then when they get blinded, your storm mages have extra crit chance. But the crit chance that it goes up to, so in my PoB, I tested it. I don't have it open, but my base crit chance right now for these skeletal storm mages, it's 23%. With that blindside up, it goes up to 26. Now it does break the 25% threshold, but it's 3%. I don't know. I instead just take the flat damage that a whole minion level gives me. So these guys are at 28.453. If I take the minion mastery off, hold on, let him refresh. 25. Right, so 28 to 25. I think that's what percentage? Let's go check what that percentage is real quick. Let's calculate it. What's 3 divided by 25? 12 times 100. So one level, 12% damage increase. Right? Versus, I think blindside, when I checked the DPS on PoB, the DPS was slightly less than me slotting in a minion mastery. So that's why I'm not using that crit setup. I could see how you would want to use that crit setup though, if you had more crit or more crit hit damage. Let's say you're using a bunch of sapphire, so your crit hit damage is 200%. It's pretty good. That's a lot. 200% crit hit damage. Mine's 250 for instance. Mine's 170, so I mean it's good, but it's not as consistent enough. If it was blindside was putting me at 35% crit, oh dude, easy all day. And then maybe it would have been good if I had more storm mages, who knows. But yeah, so this is what I've got for, let's look at the shock mages. Stormfire, right? We're getting ignites from the warrior, so Stormfire just lets the shocks not expire on ignited enemies. Conduction for more chance to shock. Overcharge for a higher magnitude of shock, so it's 30% versus 20%. Forcing currents, so that way when I'm partying, or not just partying, but when I'm just in a map with a lot of enemies, if this guy shocks, it spreads to nearby enemies. So just a little bit of extra clear. You could put in something else in here. And then lightning exposure for just to help with these guys do more lightning damage for the main DPSs. And you could even argue that since we're mapping, and if it's not a particularly hard map, you can just take off the shock mage and just go straight DPS mages, right? Have straight up 13 DPS mages. But this is kind of how I kind of like to map. I like to map with more than one cleric. We'll talk about why. All right, let's look at the actual stats for the storm mages. So these guys' max life is only 3,900. It's not a lot. I might change that. We'll probably change that and add more life because that's pretty low. But that's why I have three clerics. And then if you look at their defenses, they're full max res, but their chaos is low. Oh wait, this is the frost mage. Jeez, played myself. Okay, so this is the storm mage. 4,500. Right. Still not a lot, but better. Better than 39. The frost mage, he's always in the back. You're just using him for ice bombs, so whatever. The thing is, too, they have energy shield. So they have 1,000. 1,100. So he's really at 5,600 max life. So it's not too bad. It's pretty decent. If you look at the arc, it's 27k. We kind of already looked at the DPS. Crit hit chance, 23. Right? Death Storm, I never use this because I forget. I should probably put it on my bar because it's a free 183 if you remember to use it. Right, so those are the stats for my skeletal storm mages, and those are the gems. Here we got Voltaic Mark, the next one. It's got Unleash on it, so that way you don't have to cast as much of it. Single out. This is in here because I had this in here with the snipers. I don't need this right now, but I don't know what else to put in here, so we'll leave it in there. Single out is great if you're using the snipers with a voltaic mark because it's an instant armor break. If you got 20 snipers all shooting at something that has a voltaic mark with single out, instant armor break, free 20% damage. I think it's 20%, something like that. And then this is the latest thing, energy barrier, right? I think Gazzy exposed this, so other people have been showing and it's kind of broken or whatever. So what happens is if you take damage while casting and get stunned, or if you take a stun while casting, your energy shield recharge starts immediately. It's not the best thing to put it on voltaic mark because voltaic mark's cast speed is really fast. Right? This is voltaic mark's cast time. See, it's this. See how it's just going?
Goodbye. It's
a little too quick. So if you're anticipating getting hit, you can actually get hit after it's cast, and your energy barrier won't proc. It still works. I still kind of use it. You kind of have to have a little bit of monster knowledge about what monsters are melee attackers and can cause a light stun or a heavy stun to get this charge to work. But it's pretty good. Because of this, I got rid of faster energy shield restart. And Simulacrum's not as hard, so I got rid of faster energy shield restart. What this works really well with is firewall. Or even like conductivity. The thing is, conductivity drains a lot of mana when you cast it, but it's more reliable to get it to proc because it's a longer cast time. For me, I have it here on energy barrier. Terracotta warriors, soldiers, they got maim, martial tempo. I don't have any other melee minions, that's why martial tempo's in here. They're just here for muster. For the most part, 99% of the time they're stuck in like statue form, so I don't care. Here's my cleric. He's got meat shield and last gasp. This third slot used to be the minion mastery, but I moved it up here to storm mage. You can put anything you want in here that you could find. Sacrificial lamb if you want. And then this is the curse that I run, conductivity. Hex bloom to spread the curse. Focus curse for it to be faster. Heighten curse, so that way, you know, it's a bigger curse. And then inspiration, so that way I'm not losing so much mana and having to worry about like using mana pots all the time. One of the things you can substitute for, like let's say you're running Rupture the Soul. I find that if I run Rupture the Soul and then I'm casting curses, the damage of my storm mages right now, they're high enough to just kill stuff before the curse procs and then spreads Hex Bloom. So what you can do to counter that is you can put instead of focus curse, I think it's like curse zone or something. What's it called? Let me look it up. I think it's called cursed zone or something like that. It basically makes the curse happen immediately. Do I have it? Curse ground. Yeah. So this lets you immediately just put the curse right on the ground and then not have to wait for that that load time. So that's an option. I just like using focus curse because yeah, I don't know, I'm kind of used to it now. I'll probably slot this in. I used to not like this curse ground because I felt like it was annoying in breaches. Because in breaches, just having that zone when all the monsters are coming from everywhere, it felt like it didn't perform well. So that's why I use focus curse instead, specifically because of how this feels in breaches. But in anything else, this thing happens right away. If your minions are attacking something, you can just put it in that direction and it's immediately going to spread. So it's got its advantages and disadvantages. Last thing, Convalescence. This is still broken. I'm surprised they fixed the spirit glitch on the specters. I would have been so happy if they never buffed any minions if they kept that spirit glitch. Like, you know what? You guys are taking too long to buff. You know, we'll wait till 0.3, but leave the specter glitch on. But then they patched the specter glitch. I would have made a video on it. Would have been super fun. You can have a whole army of whatever amount of spirit on your second weapon set with your skeletons. It was kind of fun. But they allowed this to stay. I don't know why they allowed this to stay. Either no one's complaining about it, so they're not going to say something about it. They're going to wait for someone to complain. But no one's going to complain because this is really nice. If you put Convalescence, right? You slot Convalescence in. Just put it in here. Put your favorite support gem. I have Ingenuity because I like the cooldown just being 23 seconds. instead of having second wind on there and having 2 charges with a 45-second cooldown, but that's just preference. And then the way it works is you go here, you go to your second weapon set, and then you turn it on in here. See, mine's not even on here because I changed some stuff around. Hold on, let me check how much. Interesting. Skill set. Skill is not valid for this weapon set. Hold on. That's because on my second weapon set, I don't have enough intelligence. So let's do this. Do I have 2 more points? I have 2 more points. So let's put on extra intelligence, right? Because I had extra 2 points. There you go. Now I can turn it on. So that's all you'll do. You'll go to you'll go to your second weapon set. So this is my main weapon set, right? With all my skeletons. Go to your second weapon set, turn that sucker on, and then whenever your shield is low, you can still press the button and use it. Right now it's not proccing because my energy shield's full. But just to show you, where is that helmet? This is a good time to show off this helmet too, Visage of Aya. If your health pool, if your life pool is not full and you want to heal it, with Eternal Youth, your health pool doesn't change because you have shield. The way you get around that is you take this Visage of Aya, which gives you Eldritch Battery. You put that helmet on. Your ES turns into mana pool, and then you can heal your life. And then you'll put your regular helmet back on. See, now we can press square, Convalescence. There you go. I was able to use Convalescence on weapon set 1, right? Now let's keep going down. Pain Offering. This guy's in here. I have it with Font of Blood, Ablation, Expanse. Ablation with the Lich is another quality of life because your life doesn't change with Energy Shield as long as you have Eternal Youth. So it's for free. It's not that bad if you're on the infernalist. I got used to just potting right away after using Pain Offering, but it's a quality of life that's nice. This 4th slot, I don't have Dance Macabre in here because sometimes Dance Macabre will take a Storm Mage, right? I have Sacrificial Lamb on the Warrior, so it takes a Warrior, and then this is the reason I have 3 Clerics or more than 1, because 99% of the time it's a Warrior and a Cleric. So prolonged mapping, I'm constantly just killing my Cleric and I'm not getting any heals on my minions and they'll end up dying. So that's why I actually sacrifice one of my Storm Mages to give me more Clerics. That's the reason I have 3 Clerics, 11 Storm Mages. Right. You know, depending on how your spirit works out. If I can get a 12th one with 2 Clerics, I would do that for mapping. I've done this setup 11 and 3 with Simulacrum plus 4 and it's fine. Right, this is post-nerf Simulacrum, and it's totally fine. Pre-nerf Simulacrum, you needed like 7, 8 Clerics. Now we don't really need that, which is nice. It brought it down. It's kind of sad, but good at the same time. Good change that was needed. So that's why I don't run Dance Macabre, because I like to. If I'm running 1 Cleric, it's gonna kill that Cleric. But if you have 3 Clerics, right, you can run Dance Macabre for, it's like a slight little DPS boost that every minion will get. It's up to you. Okay, so now let's talk about the passive tree. Here's the passive tree. This is what we got working. I already talked about why we have the Grand Spectrum Jewels. You know, we got all this. The biggest changes that I've made for these guys versus the snipers is, 1, we're not physical damage anymore, so we dropped all the accuracy. If you looked at the sniper video, you know, we had like 2900 accuracy to get 100% hit chance. This one, we dropped all that because the Storm Mages don't use accuracy, right? They're spell-based. So, no accuracy here, and then we're no longer pathing around these to get these accuracy nodes. Instead, I have Relentless Fallen on as my anoint on my amulet, so that way I don't have to take these or this node. I don't have to take any of these. Instead, I have it all allocated to crit chance. Crit chance here, crit damage here, crit chance here, crit damage here, as well as me going down here, getting crit chance and crit damage. And then the other things that we're changing too is that I'm taking this growing swarm for our cooldown, for faster cooldown reduction rate and area of effect, specifically for the ice bomb. So I like it. I like using a frost mage for the ice bomb. I like it better than the gas arrow. You could even add in like the same setup if you're using snipers, like because just like what I'm saying, right? Snipers have a little bit weaker of a clear, so maybe to help that clear, if you are using snipers, put in one storm mage in there, right? Because it is there for muster anyway. And then same thing, area of effect, bidding, and then you have a free spell nuke. Free spell nuke, right? Doesn't have to worry about igniting. It's got a bigger area. It's great for clearing trash. Even adds a freeze. If you put glaciation on it, it has a better chance of freezing. So those are the changes that I've made for the passive tree. Everything else is like your typical garden variety storm mage setup. If you see all the green slime, this is all here because of a sigil of power, right? Increase area of effect, skill duration, right here, skill duration, more skill duration, and stuff up here, skill duration. So let's talk about sigil of power real quick. It's level 18 is what it says, but if I switch weapons, you want to have a weapon that has as many plus level to all spell skills. So then your sigil of power becomes level 21 sigil of power. Right? So it's pretty cool. Pretty nice. 14% more spell damage per stage. So times 4. 40, 56 extra spell damage. Right? Pretty good. Tasty.
I need more time.
And the other things with this that I have in here, some changes. I mean, I'm trying to take as much energy shield as I can in combination with intelligence. Some of the things that I wish I had that I don't have is minion life. But as of right now, I'm not really feeling the need for it. I think I'm okay with the 3 clerics. Like there's this right here too, revive faster. Because I mean, they do die and you know, you do feel it, but I kind of just play around it. I've just accepted it at this point. I'm like, you know, fuck it. If you're actually pathing this way, you can actually get even this one too, Gravedigger. But this is how I have it. Some other good anointments for your amulet. So right now my energy shield, right, 8700. I can have 9k energy shield if I put on Ancient Aegis. Right, easy 9k. So we're safer that way. It would be nice if Deadly Swarm. This thing is bugged right now. You can't fucking put this on an amulet. That's what I would do. I would put this on my amulet and then I would reclaim these points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points to reclaim, and then have Deadly Swarm on my amulet. Then I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then maybe 7, and then you could put one more here to get Gravedigger. That's like that's a choice that you could do if you didn't take Deadly Swarm. Some other things to anoint. You could anoint Quick Response. It's super nice, especially with this, because it's easy to get your life pool to not change, right? To not be at max life. So if I take my amulet has 20 strength, so if I just unequip it and equip it, see my life goes from max to 1454, and that is enough to have permanent uptime of Quick Response if I had it anointed on the amulet, which is a 50% energy shield recharge. My energy shield recharge right now, the delay is at 5 seconds, right? It's a lifetime. But I just use the energy barrier on my voltaic mark now. I used to take this. I got rid of this, right? If you're using a spell that takes advantage of energy barrier, instead of taking faster energy shield recharge, you might want to take this instead. For energy shield recharge rate, it's right here, refocus, and it's on the way too. So that's one place you can get it. You could even get it over here. Faster shield recharge plus energy shield recharge rate. There's another section over here for faster start with energy shield recharge rate and intelligence, but it's like, you know, it's a lot of points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you could take points out of some places if let's say you have enough damage, right? Because my store mages, they're level 34. Let's say you're one of those people who are lucky enough to have a Prism of Belief to have them at level 36 and plus. Maybe you won't need so much damage. It's even possible that your minions have more life, that you can take away life from over here, Holy Protector, or maybe you have life over here, you could take that off. You know, some other things you could anoint too is you can anoint Right Hand of Darkness. You know, chance to wither on hits really good, especially because we're leaning really heavy into chaos damage, extra chaos damage. One of the things I didn't cover is having Withering Presence. I don't have a place for it, and to me, for Withering Presence, if I was to lean into it, it's more of a bossing thing, because you have to build that stack of Withering Presence, right? And then for mapping, things die really fast, and then even the map boss, getting Withering Presence on it to really take advantage of that, to let it like cook, is not really that long. I don't mind just not having it and just having an extra Storm Mage. That's more of like a special pinnacle boss type of setup for like max damage. So this is the Ascendancy nodes for the passive tree. I'm going here on the right. Eternal Life, right? This way, because the quality of life is really nice. Not having to worry about bleed is a really big plus, especially on some mobs. Like, they bleed a lot. You know, even like poisons and stuff, you're immune to all that as long as you have energy shield. It just sucks taking this if you decide to take CI, because your mana starts degenerating down constantly until you have 0 mana, and I don't like that. If you don't want CI, you can go this way. You can take Rupture the Soul with Blackened Heart. Rupture the Soul is super fun. It's also one of the fun things about the Lich is whenever you play around with Rupture the Soul and Blasphemy, and then Rupture the Soul even with ranged minions is super fun. It feels really good. It's just, you know, Blasphemy's what, 54 spirit? So instead, if you don't want to use that spirit, take a curse and use Cursed Ground. So it's immediate, right? Wherever they're shooting at, immediate. Boom, pop, explode. Super fun. The thing I have in my phylactery is this thing. I have presence area, attack speed, and critical hit chance. So that's why my minions have 23% increased critical hit chance on these guys. And conversely, 30% critical hit chance on the Frost Mages. So yeah, this is how I have all the stuff set up. I might have missed some stuff. If you guys have any questions, any comments, you know, leave it down in there. If I'm lying and all this is bait, let me know. I like to make sure it's accurate, so that way you have a smooth leveling experience, a boss killing build, so you're not having to switch so many builds back and forth. For the way I have this right now, I don't change anything. If I go into Simulacrum, everything's the same. If I fight T4 Expedition, everything's the same. If I'm fighting, you know, whatever, it's the same. I have these boots. These boots, I fucking hate them. But you know what? They're pretty good for bossing. You know, if you want that extra DPS, slap these on. That'll give you 4 extra minions. That's like 40% extra damage, right? So that's a lot. You could even add, boom. There's another one, 16. So those boots are nice. Boots of Valir. I don't use them. I never need them. I should probably use them if I'm doing Xesht or something, but I don't. Cool, so that's pretty much all the stuff I want to talk about. I really like the Storm Mages. I prefer them. The snipers were great too. They're not bad. I like them. It's just I spend most of my time doing maps, right? Unga bungaing and doing maps. So I would rather have my map experience be smooth, and then the boss of the map, take a little bit longer. Because if I'm like going through the map and it's not that smooth, and then I just crush the map boss, it's like that time of feeling like things are a little like weird and not as good. It's more of that feeling when I'm on snipers than I am on Storm Mage. You know, not that it's not bad. I mean, I don't know what you guys feel about it. I played snipers the entire season 1. They were the shit. If you're feeling that's one little tip though. If you're feeling like your snipers have like they're focusing in an area too long, maybe try to slot in one Frost Mage, and then you can have on demand 100k DPS bomb drops. You know, nice. It's like the Zoo Minion build all over again. Part 2. So yeah, enjoy the next few videos, the maps and stuff like that. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out. Bye. All right, so let's go mapping with this build. So I'm going to use a map here. This is Rust Bowl. It's 60% increased number of rare monsters. We're going to use a map that doesn't have a delirium on it, right? 6 mod. Slip that in there. 28% increased number of monster packs. Just to kind of show, you know, how good it clears or how bad it clears, however you want to look at it. But I enjoy it. I kind of like it, you know. I just always had this feeling with the snipers that they were pretty far back and that it took a long time to kill certain things just because you know, the way it wasn't working the same way it does with the chain on the arc that they have, right? So you can zero button, you can just run around too. You don't have to cast spells. I like to drop ice bombs. You don't have to, you know. And then right here, summon your pain offering. I wonder if it would work in our build. Hold on. Well, I'll reply to him later. Oh, someone wants to buy a Sunsplitter. Oh my god, I put that Sunsplitter in the wrong place. Hang on. I literally took that Sunsplitter out and I put it in a spot that was a for sale tab. That dude's probably like, oh dude, 2C. Oh my god, please. Please, bro. Please, bro. I need the Sunsplitter. I need it, dude. No one, I can't play the game. I can't play the game. Sorry, dude. Sorry, dude. Okay. I'll see what the homie said. I'd like to send you my build. Have you seen it? Seen any changes that I can make a boost? I'd buy. I did buy a level 21. Okay. So let's finish this map. All right. I do like having that frost bomb just to drop, you know? Pretty good. Oh, the one thing I didn't go over is, see, like, I just frost bomb that whole group. Because while my buddies are still back here cleaning all the trash, I still have, you know, like, the ability to defend myself. Maybe I should showcase the heal with the energy barrier if I just keep casting it. But those guys are they're not really stunning. They're these guys. See if I'm casting? Well, that was a bad example. I got scared. I rolled away. This is why one example that it's actually better to have it on something that casts slow. So that way, see if you get hit. Why isn't I? Oh, I'm getting shocked. I'm getting shocked. Hold on, let's go run this. Ooh, there's a researcher's box. These researcher's boxes have been pretty good. I mean, following everyone's advice, you basically slam it with exalts, max slam, and then also hit it with the Val. And you usually get, the shittiest that I've got was 2 exalts out of it. Usually get more than 2 exalts. So if you get more than two exalts, you get your money back. And have a chance at some like other things. But yeah, every once in a while I'll throw up a pain offering, you know. And then if you're in presence range, that's when the damage really starts to like shine. Wow, they just all got melted by whatever was happening. Oh, this is making a bad example of my video. Okay. So I guess that's an example right there of you should have more minion life. But as far as I've had it, I mean, for the most part, it goes pretty well. It's pretty smooth. Like, I don't really care too much about what's happening. I'm kind of curious. How many do I have? Yeah, I do have 3. Weird. Why do I have 15? Yeah. Well, okay. That might have been why. Okay. Maybe that's why. Maybe... There you go. Something weird was happening with my, my team composition. Pick up those boots. They're probably dying because I didn't have a healer out. So you kind of roll through, get your pain offering. Let those guys go crazy, let them go wild. Managed to kill him before the thing closed. Usually we could clear way more. It's just that it was probably they got wiped because the minion count was all fucked up. And drop a frost bomb, kill those guys. Roll through, let them spawn right there. Pain offering, come back. Like really, you don't have to press any buttons. You can just have this like a traditional 0-button build. Oh, here's another one. And then really the only thing you'll be casting is Pain Offering. Ooh, a Divine. Dang, dude. New loot patch. Now I just need the loot patch to just give us an infinite amount of Omens of Whittling. Right? Because I mean, what's the point of giving me currency if I don't have the necessary crafting opens? Dude, I need whittlings, bro. Give me whittlings. GGG, I need whittlings, dude. Like, instead of making me farm for gear and currency to buy stuff, can I just get whittlings so I can make my own stuff? Is that like too much to ask? Also, I'm just saying random shit. Don't listen to me. Right, so there's a... Pick it up. Am I full? Weird. Can't pick it up? Is this good? Could be good. So let's get all this. I gotta look at the homies build. Alright, so we're running through. Just have them erase all that stuff. I'll drop an ice bomb right there. Right, run this way. Clear this out. Drop another ice bomb. Clear those. Pain offering. Continue moving this way. There's an exalted orb up there. Roll back. Ice bomb. And that's kind of how I play. I find it pretty fun. It's relaxing. Not super challenging. There's enough challenge in here where, you know, maybe my shield might get low. Roll out of the way. Drop an ice bomb over there. Have these guys come in. Clear the way. Pretty smooth. Typical map time is usually like 5 to 7 minutes. Well, it depends. If it's a small map, you're done in like 3 minutes. If you're doing all like the things in the rituals and all that stuff, it's like 7, 8 minutes. That kind of thing. It varies from time. Like right now, I'm doubling back, getting all that stuff. Oh, there's 2 more breaches? Dude, come on. Breaches have been all right. This league. Or with this update. Look, there's all those rares. I should be picking up all this and looking at them. Like here's a Sigil Crest shield, this piece of shit. But you know, we're just gonna keep going. Like ideally, you should look at those rares, you know. You might get something good. Something that you can recomb. There might be a stat in there that's for, you know, recombination if you're into that. I'm not the best at crafting. I wish I was, and then maybe I could afford stuff. That's why that's why my my storm mages only have, you know, level 33. I have to have 2 mastery gems in there to make them 36. But I mean, they nerfed Simulacrum, so you don't even need lightning penetration to do T4. I'll have a video in there of doing T4s. I did it with the sniper build, the sniper setup. I mean, it's not even a sniper setup. It's just instead of the frost mage, I had a sniper, right? But it's the exact same build. And I didn't use any or need any, whatchamacallit? What do you call those guys? Lightning penetration. I didn't need any lightning penetration on my storm mage to beat T4 now because, you know, of the nerf. It would have been nice to say that I did it pre-nerf, but I definitely tried, right? It's funny. I think the reason I didn't get it is because I was just 1 or 2 levels short of DPS on my storm mages. Like, for the longest time, I didn't want to commit to getting a +1 corrupted storm gem, just because I didn't want to pigeonhole myself into using one type of minion. I kind of wanted my gear to be really good defensively and then have multiple like minion options. That's kind of how I wanted to build my build. So that's why it's centered around ever grasping rings, doing as much damage as it can, that kind of a thing, and then being able to like pick which things we want to use. Oh, this guy wants to buy this for 10 chaos. Touch my turtle. Let's go sell it to him for 10 chaos. We gotta go back anyway. But yeah, like I didn't want to pigeonhole myself into just playing storm mages because I didn't give the snipers like an appropriate try. And I wanted to give the snipers an appropriate try, the good old college try, because I did play them a lot in season 1, and they're just as good. They're better, and they're even better for bossing. They're really good for bossing. You'll see them. They just evaporate stuff in bossing. But like I said, you know, most of the time my focus is in maps, and I want my mapping experience to be as best as it can be. So that's why I have it this way. This guy touching my turtle. I think I've traded with this guy before. This all out, dude. If this this gem is like worth a fuck ton, and I just sold it for 10C, I just exposed myself. Okay, back into the map. Go look at some stuff. What's the time limit on this we've got so far? 8 minutes. We've been here too long. I like to have these maps 7 minutes at most. There's a lot of treasure in here to look at, though. You can take your time, look at all the treasure, collect all the jewels. In my defense, there was a couple breaches, you know, but it is pretty smooth. It's about as fast as lightning spear, you know. We're almost as fast as lightning spear. You know, this is just as fast, dude. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Look, dude, look. I'm outpacing the breach. How is this not as fast? Why? What are you guys talking about? This is just as fast. Look at this. Look, we're right at the breach. See, look. We outran the breach so fast that I have to run to the other side. This might as well be lightning spear. You know? See, look, I have that frost bomb. Look. I put a curse. See? Look, we're almost at the other side. Look, I'll hit this hand. Look, I didn't even put up a pain offering yet. Look. See, look, I'm in danger. There you go. I'm not in danger. See, look, we're almost there. Look. Oh, look. There. You see that? See? Look, we're here. Look, it's so fast. We're already going to the north side of the breach. Look, see? There. There you go. Oh, damn, 54 Simulacrum? Dude. That's the other thing. I think I have my Simulacrum, the way I have it set up, is pretty good. Instead, I take the node that's 100% increased, what is it? 100% increased splinters from boss. Because the other nodes don't work. The other nodes are not good and they're not really worth it. So that's the node that I take for my Simulacrum. So that way, at least every time I fight Kosis and the other guy, Omniphobia, you get 14 Simulacrum splinters. Okay, so here's a map. It's not the best one. I was hoping I can have a map with like 50% rare monsters or 70, but I ran all those nodes. So we're just gonna run it with 24. I also noticed something that was weird. When I was on stream the other day, I had some maps where it was like 50% rare monsters, and I had like high multipliers. Like this is 45 plus the 54. And then in the map, I had like 270% rare monsters and even 300%. And then the map would bug, and there would only be like 8 rare monsters in there. So I don't know if there's an issue. If you hit like a certain threshold and it's too high, the modifier doesn't apply. So I don't know what it is. Hopefully that's not the case. We're in Deserted here. We're going to run a map with Delirium, 36%. It's not that high, but I just kind of want to show the difference between mapping with like Delirium, no Delirium. And it's kind of quality of life stuff, you know? Because if you do get map mods that have more life or resistance, they are harder, right? Or even those in combination with Delirium, it does make those maps harder. And you'll be wondering, oh, why it takes so long or whatever. But really, it's like they're just really fat amounts of life that the monsters have. So just running through here, pop my pain offering, keep going through, drop the ice bomb, clear that out. Blacksmith box, sure, we'll hit that. Do this while we're at it. Throw up my pain offering. Like you see, I haven't even used the Sigil of Power. Right, the Sigil of Power is mostly just like a boss thing. There's really no need to engage with Sigil of Power unless like you know, it's a really stacked map and the rituals are really rough, and you know you have a really rough ritual coming up. Then I would you know, play with that and use that and switch to using my Sigil of Power and stuff. But even in the Delirium maps, should be perfectly fine. I really wish though that Presence of Area wasn't a thing, or at least was like further away or something. Maybe it might be overpowered. I don't know, because we got a lot of extra damage, but you do have to be next to your minions. And I like to kind of run through and get through the map quickly. So I'll leave my minions behind. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of run through, let them go, right? And as long as I keep going and I don't stop, they'll spawn on me. Then I'll throw up a pain offering, let them take care of that, Valorb. Kind of how I like to play. Why can't I press this? There it is. Weird. If you get in trouble, roll back. It's like I'm way too far right now. I'm out of range for presence area. So get him in the presence area. Even though... Oh, I didn't go over my phylactery. Should go over the phylactery. So we'll take this. Take this. So yeah, let's go over my phylactery right now too. We'll add it in twice. I have this going right. Right? This is what I have in here. Increased crit chance, 4% increased damage and presence area. And then necromantic conduit for unholy might. If you don't want this because you're taking chaos inoculation, you can take these, rupture the soul, and blackened heart. Different style, but very rewarding. Blackened heart's super fun. I like it. It's just for right now, I don't really need it just because they're clearing really fast. Clears really well. And I'm already casting something too. I'm already casting Ice Bomb. Ice Bomb. I'm casting, you know, I have curses. Well, you'd have to do a curse and then an Ice Bomb. Pressing multiple buttons. Some people don't like that. It's fun. But sometimes you kind of just want to like run through stuff. Just play like dodgeball. Dodge these guys, move around, do that. Drop an Ice Bomb every so often. Here's a strong box. Do I have exalts? I don't have exalts. I think all the strong boxes are trash except the researchers, but we'll see. Because that's the only one that gives you currency, and that's all we care about. Like, here's some boots. I don't know. I almost feel like they shouldn't even drop items unidentified. Because it's just adding time that I could spend doing something else. So you keep going. Drop the Ice Bomb. There's a bunch of monsters over here that I missed. I'm going to go back. What's our time? 3 minutes? And I like the change they made to the ritual. So like for the ritual, you don't have to wait and kill all the monsters. You can just hit it. At least I think you can. That's what I've been doing. I've just been hitting it. Like, okay, there's monsters here. Hit it. Keep going. Yeah, see, my minions aren't dying as much now, even with this map having delirium on it. Just because I think earlier in Rust Bowl, I was having that weird issue with extra spirit being used. So I guess I didn't have any clerics up. So I was like, why the fuck is everyone dying, dude? Why are you guys always embarrassing me in front of my friends? I'm trying to be cool. And then they just die. You know? Hold on. Tempest. Pick that up. Get this. All right, send an Ice Bomb that way. Yeah, see, so you can see it's super comfortable. It's kind of going. Don't really have to do anything too crazy. Not saying you couldn't do this with the snipers. You can. And I'm thinking about it. Like, let's say, you know, the busy shooting at something. Having one Frost Mage, I think, would be nice. If you're playing snipers, if you want to do that. See, like, they're shooting over there. Drop an Ice Bomb over here. Slow it down. Weaken some people. Roll. You're just kind of killing stuff. Put up a pain offering. Make sure you don't get hit by 3 freaking chaos orbs. Where's the boss at? All the way over here? Pain offering. Oh, I think my Frost Mage got sacrificed. It's 5 seconds for energy shield recharge. But I promise you, I do this every once in a while when I'm thinking about it, and energy barrier works. I might switch it to the curse because the curse is a longer cast time, so it's easier for you to proc that. But it's funny when you're just doing this and you're trying to get stunned to start your energy shield recharge, which is not happening. All right, let's move out of the tornado. Is that you just see the AoEs? Ah, this tornado, move away from me. Dude, like somebody hit me, dude. Never mind, I'm not getting hit. Defer these guys. I want that. Come on. Give us something good. Give us something good. Right on the video. Nothing good. We'll buy this. And yeah. See, here's the boss. What is it? Six minute time to get to the boss. Doing all the different mechanics. Like low stress. We're not like... Not too hard. You know, we're just as fast as a lightning spear. We're already here. Look at this. Lord of the Pit. You know, do this. Put your Sigil of Power down. Make sure I'm popping that. Make sure you don't die. Getting hit by that ship. All my minions are dead. See that? Just as good as lightning spear. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Right there. Slam that. Make sure you curse him. Make sure you put on Sigil of Power. Drop my Ice Bomb. He's still alive. So if it wasn't for that AoE in the beginning, right? We probably made a good... probably could have got it set up better. But other than that, just like lightning spear. Take this off. Take that off. That's blue. I don't have any scrolls. Let's see here. What should I get, dude? Right? These I can't fit these in my fucking stash. Well, it's a T5. Okay. So yeah, that's kind of like the mapping. So we did a regular map. We did 2 maps just to show you like why I kind of like the Storm Mage and why I like this build. This build is pretty much completed. So yeah, cool. All right, so we're gonna run a T4 Xesht. So here's a Breachstone. It's level 82. Right, we're gonna pop it open, just so you know I'm not lying to you. Right, all points. Where is it? Boom. All 8 points are allocated. So I was running this with snipers, or no, not with snipers, but instead of the Frost Mage that I have, I did it with 1 sniper. But instead, let's try it. I want to do it again with 1 Frost Mage in here. And both times though, it was kind of rough getting into the end. It was like in under 10 seconds. So I don't know. I think that might just be it. I think getting to Xesht is going to be the hardest pinnacle content other than like playing the arbiters mini games. So let's go see. I've changed nothing. It's exactly the same. Right. Make sure we kill these guys. Like, I don't know what the appropriate way to do this is. Either go slow, go fast. But I do have the ice bombs now. And the ice bombs help. See that? See that? See that? See? See? Ice bomb. I rolled before that other one could be completed, but you know, whatever. And then 5 seconds for energy shield recharge start. That's what I'm talking about. All day. All day. Like, there is that thing where your minions, they're at max range, they don't heal or something, or these guys at max range, they freaking don't attack. Like the damage doesn't register. It's kind of a real thing, and it sucks. But you know, it is what it is. So, but still, you can get the Xesht. You can just roll through if you're like, holy shit, I'm not gonna make it. Come on, boys, let's go. Come on, boys. Pain offering. Get him out of range. Kind of have to like zigzag through a little bit. Make sure you don't get hit too much. See, if only, dude, if only they would let these guys move while attacking. Dude, it would be so much better. If they could move while attacking, it would be a million times better. I don't know what just happened. Dude, the timer just ran out. I hope I make it. Are we gonna get kicked out? Oh man, I think we're gonna get kicked out. Hang on. Did we make it? I think we made it. Yeah, we made it. Okay. But see, kind of scary. But I think as long as you make it to that second checkpoint, you're fine. Like, I don't even know if the timer stopped or if like it just said thanks for trying, you made it. But here, we're here. Get to him. You could put on Boots of Valir if you want. I'm not gonna do that. You just make sure you're potting while you're doing this. Hit him with your voltaic mark. Put a curse on him because he's got a lot of res. Make sure you put your pain offering up. Don't be like me and forget. And then run in a circle. I see some like pink thing chasing me. Cool arms, bro. Another voltaic mark. Kind of cool. This fight's cool. Before, you never had to see all these mechanics. Now it's like you get to see all these mechanics. So developers have really nice mechanics. There's that hand. Don't forget to put your curses up. I better not die. Is that another hand thing? The fingers, dude? Okay. Pain offering. Voltaic mark. Curse. Voltaic mark. Ice bomb. Let it go. And run through all these hands. Yeah, it takes a while. Because Xesht has a lot of elemental res, this guy. Also, the thing too with your Convalescence, you do kind of want to use it at like half. Oh, I'm out of flask. At half energy shield, just because it heals to like about a full one full bar of energy shield. So it's if you're probably gonna be getting hit while using it. See, like right now I want to use it. Oh shit. There you go. That was a really long time. That was a long time. But whatever, dude. It's all good. I probably could have been like doing more pain offerings or something. I don't know. Boom. You record. All right. So T4 Simulacrum, new update, Storm Mages. This is like the final set of how I'm gonna have this build pretty much. The only thing I'm missing is Prism of Belief, and I guess I could get like a corrupted extra level Sunsplinter for levels, but that's like really expensive. So this is basically without super expensive shit. I wonder if I should not use the Dance Macabre. Right, because for this, if one of your storms get taken as a sacrifice, it's not worth it at all. Lose a lot of DPS because I only have 11 storm mages right now. But it feels like, I don't know, from what I've heard, people are saying it's a lot easier, which is nice. But that means if this is done, or if this is easier, that means my build is done. Because I usually just build to be able to beat +4 Simulacrum. And it's just hard getting gear. Getting currency. Today, I think since the new patch, the best currency I've gotten was 1 divine this morning. That's all I've got. I've got it, but well, actually that's not true, right? There's a lot more, whatchamacallits? Exalts. There's a ton more exalts, dude. It's nice having so many more exalts. I can slam the maps and shit. I can add it to whatever I need. Can we use that unique boot that reduced reservation either this build? Yeah, you can. You could use it in any build. I just prefer not using it because I like having mobility. Because like mobility is a part of like my survival. So like if I take this boot off, fire goes down 47 and then cold goes down to 50, right, for my resistances, and my energy shield goes down about 1500. But I think I get 3 or 4 more storm mages, which is a lot. That's like a 30% damage increase. How the fuck am I out of flasks? Okay, well, good so far. I did a couple things. I got rid of the faster shield recharge because we're just gonna take advantage of energy barrier. I have energy barrier on voltaic mark, so I'll just spam voltaic mark. And then if I get hit, I'll get an energy shield recharge. It's kind of not a good way to play, but you know, whatever. saves points. How did you get that much energy shield? This? Dude, it's expensive, bro. Look. Want to see? It's because of this. 780 energy shield. Let's go check how much it was. How much this is. 785. I bought this, right? This was listed for 15 divines. And then I asked the dude, can I pay 12? And he said yes. Look at that. Bro. That makes no sense. Literally makes no sense. 80 divines for 800. I have no idea how people have 1000s. See, 20 divines for a 710. Like, I don't know. Even in my standard league character, my energy shield on my chest is only 680 on standard league. Right? So, dude, that guy who sold it to me for 12 in the middle of the night, he deserves a spot in heaven. So, like, people who have like the 1000 energy shield chest, I feel like you have to craft it yourself, dude. At this point, I hope they just like unload the floodgates of currency. The thing right now that I wish that they unloaded on was omens. I mean, it's nice we have better drop rate and all. You got more fucking exalts, more divines, more whatever. Loot feels good. I wish in ritual that they let every page have an omen of whittling. No bullshit, dude. I wish it was that crazy. I wish it was that fucking crazy. Omen of whittling every page. Omen of whittling costs 2 exalts in the store because everyone can get one. Because then I'm not gonna buy a fucking 80 divine chest, dude. Hell no. I'm gonna go try to make one. I'll try to whittle myself one down, you know? I'll go like play Simulacrum or whatever, or I'll do expeditions and then I'll get white chest pieces and then I'll... See, like this one, Vile Robe. What is this? I'll just put like a defensive essence on it, augment it, and then put another like whatever defensive essence on it. Get a bunch, and then just try to whittle that when it's rare, you know? Just keep whittling it down when it's only like 3 mods. And then once you have your good like set of mods, and then fucking maybe try to get spirit on it. I don't know. Do something like that. I'd rather take my chances doing that and then try to like really gamble craft than whatever fucking try to grind for 80 divines, dude. Because the time it takes me to grind for 80 divines, I think I might take me less time to gamble craft something nice. Until I get 80 div, the season will end for me. Dude. Yeah. But yeah, that's my 2 cents. That's why a lot of people are complaining about like inflation. I'm like, bro, you can't even buy anything now. What the hell are you talking about? Like, oh no, inflation. I was like, bro, you can't even buy anything now. Like, what are you gonna buy? It does suck though that it is true that inflation is gonna kick up unique items. Because unique items you can't craft. So things like Prism of Belief, those things are gonna go into the stratosphere. So that sucks. I don't know how you fix that. That's like a unsolvable answer. You're gonna have to like increase the drop rate of those chase items. So that way people can actually like boss hunt, you know? The game will turn into a boss hunting game instead of a trade oriented. Like, I feel like doing it yourself should be primary. And then going through trade on Trade League is like secondary. Instead of primaries through trade and secondaries through getting it yourself. I feel like that way it retains more players. That way would retain more players. I recently bought a faster ES charge base for 7070 ES. Dude, how much did it cost? You know what? If you forgo these rings, if I didn't use these chaos rings, right? And we use Vener's Gambles or something cheaper that got our resistances up, we can potentially get a chest that doesn't have reses on it. And because it doesn't have any reses on it, we can get it for much cheaper. Right? Like, let's say all we got was 45. Then this motherfucker's 900. 30 div, right? 30 div, dude. Not 80, but 30. What about 785? 3 divs, right? With no resistances on it. For 799. But, you know, you'd have to forgo these rings or something. Get like get it somewhere else. That's technically the best strat. 1 div, but only 48 total res and 39 spirit. Yeah, exactly, right side. So ideally, the best way to do it is you get shit ES gloves, right? This is how I would shop. 100 ES gloves. You get your triple stat, whatever you need. You hit it for as high as you can get. You say 40. Chaos 25. Right? 1 div. Boom, 41. And you do as high as you can get low ES, and then you counteract that with just gigantic big dick ES on the chest. Big dick on the chest. That's how I would do it if you're gonna go that route. You just have to. But the thing is, I'm using these fucking ever gaping rings. So stuff to think about. You could even take these boots, right? I have 17 rarity on these. I got these as a drop with 30 move speed. You can go for 30s with triple res, and then that'll free up, possibly free up a thing on the chest. Like if I found one that had 36 lightning on this, that would free up lightning on this chest, and then maybe I can get an upgrade for a higher energy shield with just a 40 spirit chest with cold res on it. Like, let me check. All this shit's gonna be in the YouTube video. Okay, 785. Right, 12 divine, a little better. It's not 80 divines. 30, or it is 900. 900 banger. And it has intelligence, so that's pretty good. Pretty little side hustle. See, double, dude. 30 divs. But imagine if it was dropping whittles. If whittlings were dropping a lot in ritual, you could make it yourself. Or at least you could attempt to make it yourself. So I think increasing the loot drop rate was nice, but I would love to see them increase the omen spawn rate, dude. Like 100% increase omen spawn rate. 200% increase for the whittlings especially. And then maybe your dextral annulments and whatever, those can still be super expensive. Like, I don't know why. Removing, you know, suffixes. Nice. But yeah, I like the clear. Ooh, nice. 3 exalts? The clear feels a lot better. And we're only at 80 delirium now. Not at 100 fucking 40, dude. Oh, that's funny. Like 100 something delirium in T3. But it's definitely too easy, right? I feel like if you're playing Lightning Spear, you're just super strong. Overpowered. Okay, easy. Three exalted orbs again. Ooh, rattling scepter, dude. I've never gotten a +4 rattling scepter this season. 25 move speed. Could have been nice. What about this one? 10 move speed. Anything good? And Z's. Welcome, bro. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. It's nice to see the homies from the comment section. Dang, nothing good, huh? Uni D, is there a link to the build? Not yet, Uni. Not yet, dude. I'm gonna make it. I'm making this part of the build right now. This is specifically for Storm Mages. Because I'm settling on the Storm Mages as my minion of choice. So what I'm doing is I'm doing like a Simulacrum. I'm gonna do a Breach. I wish I had a expedition map with a boss, so then I could do a boss too, and then I'm gonna jam it all into one video. You should try switching amulets to a plus energy one and get another 150 ES. That's not a bad idea. I have 15 all res on this amulet. That's why. And then if I get a 15 all res with ES, dude, it's the cost of like your liver, bro. We could check. We could do some amulet shopping. I got 15 divines, dude. I got 15 divines. Maybe we'll do that. Because if we can get like a better amulet, that'll free up some stuff. Oh my god. Only 16% increased monster speed. Before it was like, what, fucking 30 or something? So it's definitely better. They tuned it specifically for minion builds to be able to beat this. Because they nerfed us so hard. They nerfed us so hard that they made it easier for this. Hey, appreciate it, Gord. Thanks for the follow, bro. Yeah, awesome. I run Storm Mages and trying to push harder content. Yeah, we'll talk about this build right now too, if you want to go over it. Because I centered all my currency around building a good defensive set of gear, so I can just switch minions, you know, and play different minions but keep the same gear. Because it was getting to the point where I couldn't get any stronger on my Storm Mages without getting like a specific like corrupted Sunsplitter. I didn't want to invest in a corrupted +1 gem because I didn't want to pigeonhole myself into using one minion. But now that I've played the snipers for about a week, I was on the infernalist. I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna switch and just play the snipers or play the Storm Mages. Only because the mapping, dude. It's only because the mapping. The snipers have way better bossing. Their bossing like fucking evaporates, dude. It's kind of nice. But getting to the boss is like, you get these moments where you're like, why is it taking so long? You know? Like it comes in your head. I'm like, dude, what's happening right now? He was supposed to go to the store and buy some milk and he never came back. You know, it's taking way too long. So that's why I think I'm gonna lean more towards the storms. What is the best level to try and get on the Storm Mage? Mine are currently 32. So mine are 33. With a Lightning Mastery. If I take this Lightning Mastery out, they're 32. I did... So one of the dudes, just a guy, he told me about this. If you put Blindside on these guys... I think it was him. Hopefully it's him. Yeah, if you put Blindside on these guys, it says supported skills have 15% more chance to critically hit. Right? On blinded enemies, and you can put blind on your shock mage, so your shock mage will blind, and then these guys will get increased crit damage and crit chance. So kind of cool, right? I used to have elemental focus in here, but elemental focus was stopping these guys from shocking, and you need the enemies to be covered in shock, so that way when they get hit, they like do a little AoE discharge or whatever. I don't even know if they're actually doing an AoE discharge. That's just what it says. But that's what I'm running now. And I checked it on PoB. The crit chance that I have right now is 26%. Which is, it's not, you know, it's not like what we used to have with like 40 and 50%. But, you know, it's not bad. It's better than running Controlled Destruction. Although there's an advantage of having Controlled Destruction. If you have Controlled Destruction, you have all these extra points that you don't have to put points in. You don't have to put points in like defenses and stuff like that. Or you can put points in defenses if you're running Controlled Destruction, but you save points in you save points instead of using on crit chance. You know. But it looks like with how it is now with this Simulacrum, dude, my Storm Mages only have 4k life. I ran this before with 8k life and I couldn't do it. So it's kind of sad in a way. I kind of wanted to beat old Simulacrum, but the only thing that was holding me back from old Simulacrum was putting in more currency. Right? I did do a T4 breach with these guys already. I almost didn't make it to the end. So I gotta, I'll run another one and we'll try it. I was having trouble like focusing down stuff because they were so far back, and they have this glitch where if they're at max range, they don't do damage. Okay. So we'll run another breach. The boss battle's a little long, but you know, it is what it is. Just casting Voltaic Mark on people. Oh, what the hell? I'm getting stuck. Run away. Run away. This blue guy. No, don't tell me I'm gonna die, bro. Kill this blue guy. Come on, fellas. There you go. Damn, that was rough. Fucking blue guy. Let me see if there's anything good. Is this good? There's a rattling scepter. We gotta check it out. Hold on. I could probably be better at recombinating things. There's a lot of things to like recom. Save this. So I have this lightning penetration in here because I was worried about if I would need it in case there's like a plus 50% elemental res, and I haven't needed it. So we're just gonna put it back in the stash. Last one. Yeah, 115% delirium. That's the max. It used to be a 140. So that's a big drop. I mean, that's a good drop though. Big drop, but a good drop. Because you can still see the big boys are taking a lot of damage. Like I kind of want to try to see if I can get some whatchamacallits, sapphires that have area presence. I was looking at prices like area presence, attack speed, and crit chance sapphires. They're kind of pricey. Nice. Something good? Ugh, every time, bro. All right, so that's T4 Simulacrum, so super farmable, dude. All right, T4 Expedition Boss. So same deal. Let me see here. Yeah, T4 Expedition Boss. Same deal. I mean, it is faster with the snipers, but I mean, how much faster? I don't know. I mean, I'm used to fighting this guy. So as long as you like don't die. You know, prerequisite, don't die. But it looks like good damage, right? Decent damage. Look at his damage. As long as my guys don't get hit, I guess. As long as I don't get hit, I don't die. Keep pain offerings up. Don't get hit by the laser thing. He's got that big charge attack, then you can just kind of make sure he gets hit, dies. Resummon your dudes. Refresh your thing. Pain offering. Ooh. That was a good time to pop that. Don't get frozen. Positioning. I freaked out. There it is, big hit. Wait. Oh, what the hell? I got cornered. Come on, let him die. Don't kill him. Don't kill me. Omen of Resurgence. There you go. Potion? Oh, no! Duh. Well, the good thing is that that timeless jewel is worth dog shit. Yeah. right? He leaves a area damage pool after he dies, and I was mashing potion and it didn't work. So learn that.